Whoa, hello, how's everybody doing today? Great to see everyone. All right. Wonderful, wonderful to see all of you high vibrational beings here. Remember, there's no coincidence in the universe. Things unfold and happen for us, not to us. Remember that. That's very important. All right. So today video, we're going to talk about the mindset when it comes to creating your life. So we spend a lot of time. We have different methods of manifesting, right? There's so much stuff. You have 369, water cup method, all these type of methods to manifest. But I would say to you guys, if you want to change your life successfully and go on and achieve your goals, you have to know your mind. And when I'm talking about knowing your mind, you have to know the mechanisms of what your mind does, why it does it, how it works, true or false, real or fake. You have to know this, because if you don't know this, you're not going to get to your full potential. So this is what we're going to cover today, a crash course on how your mind works and how to tune your mind to make it work for you instead of against you. Everything comes down to the mind. So let's begin. Number one, did you know you spend the majority of your time with yourself, with your inner thoughts? There's no wonder people don't know themselves, because they don't know how their mind operates. So let's break the mind. There's two parts of your mind. I'm gonna make it simple for you: the ego and the subconscious. The higher self, we know about the higher self, but let's make this simple for everyone to understand. The ego is the part of your mind that will tell you that whatever it is you want is going to come with a lot of price, sacrifice, pain, hard work. It's always going to tell you that. It's also going to tell you it's difficult. It's also going to instill fear. And it does this in two categories: catastrophic thinking, self-debilitating thoughts. Okay, we got that? That's the ego part. The next part of the mind is the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind watches what the ego says, takes what the ego says, makes it your reality. Two minds, right? Next one. The conscious, which called the ego, is the logical part of your mind. It is where you can decide, this is what I want. You can analyze, I don't know. You can judge, I don't like that. You can decide, you can think, you can visualize. All that takes place in the ego. The subconscious part of the mind, it listens and controls your emotions, your feelings, your habits, your actions. It's 98% in control of everything in your life. It takes your heart rate, it controls your body temperature, it metabolizes your food, it digests your food, it sends them to the cells, it does everything. It makes you breathe, it makes you feel, it creates reality around you. Good, you're taking notes. That's right, take notes. The subconscious mind. Now let's go back to the conscious mind. Your ego does a very good job of helping you navigate your world. Here's something you have to know about your mind, the conscious mind. You should only trust your conscious mind 40% of the time. That means 60% of whatever is going on in your mind is not leading you to what you want. 60% of your mind is lying to you in your conscious mind. Mark, how is 60% of my mind lying to me? Well, your mind lies to you in the form of the number one lie your mind gives you all the time: fear. Number 2, doubt. Number 3, worry. Fear, doubt, and worry do not exist in the present moment. The next lie your mind gives you, there is no present moment. That's what it tells you. That's a lie. Your mind will tell you you have a past and you have a future. It's a lie. That's 60%. So think about this. 60% of your daily thoughts. 60% of your daily thoughts, your daily looking around, your daily awareness is a lie. Okay, so what do you use your mind for? Here's what you should be using your conscious mind for. This is the only thing you should be doing with your regular mind, people, okay? Listen carefully. You should only use your regular mind to do what? To look around, to observe what is it that you want, think about what you want, desire whatever it is that you want, and visualize what it is that you want. That's the only thing you should use your regular mind for. You do not use your regular mind for the following. Listen, that's correct. Only use your regular mind to collect the data. Take the data you collect, stream it to the subconscious mind to process it and bring it in. So here's what you do not do with your conscious mind. Do not do this, okay? Number 1, do not attempt to figure out how or when your things are coming to you. Your regular mind can't do that. The next thing, do not listen to the voice in your head when it's telling you the opposite of what you truly desire. If your mind is badgering you, if your regular mind is telling you that you're not good enough, you're just not worthy, you just don't have the skill, you just don't have the talent, you just don't have what it takes, you're always going to be this way, this is how life is, this is the game you got, that is a lie. You cannot listen to that. The reason you cannot listen to that, because what happens is your mind collected data throughout your life and it made a picture of who it thinks you are based on the limitations it's presented with. Those limitations are funneled back to you as what you call a personality, personal reality, or your personality. Okay, what is a personality? A personality is fake. It doesn't exist. It's made up. You're not a personality, people. You're not even a person. Someone says, just here to see those glasses, because those clean glasses, boy. You like the glasses? Thank you. Thank you. I could make, guys, you give me a great idea, an analogy about the glasses. Your mind is like these glasses I have on. So see these glasses I have on, they're not prescription glasses, right? But they do a good job of seeing the world. But you know, when I take these glasses off like this, wow, I see everything a lot better, just more clear. It's like, wow. So that's what your mind do. Your mind put these glasses on to you to make you see some of the stuff, but you can't see clearly. But when you take the glasses off, the world is revealed to you. Your mind is really good at making stuff up. That's what it does. So, okay, the number one reason you have to know about the mind is this. Here's the main reason your mind will make a lot of stuff up for you guys. Is because your mind wants to keep you safe. Your mind does not like taking risk. Think about this. Your mind will not make you take risk if it can control you. Okay, here's the reason why. Okay, I'm going to make it very simple. The reason we struggle with our minds is because our minds, one part of the mind is, best way I want to put it to you so you can understand. One part of the mind knows it can never die and it won't die. The other part of the mind knows that it will die and time is creeping up on it. That's why your mind does that to you. Your mind does not want to die. So what it does, it tries to get everything all at once. And when it tries to get everything all at once, you suffer. You suffer from worry, anxiety, fear. That's why it creates a future and a past. It's trying to get all it can eat. You know, when you go to those buffets and the buffet says, we got all you can eat for the next 2 hours, your mind says, man, I'm going to try to eat all this stuff as fast as I can. You eat all this stuff, you get sick because you overate. You know, but the other mind knows that, hey, this buffet is open every day for 2 hours. So I could come back tomorrow or the next day or whatever. So I'm just showing you the difference with your higher mind. Your higher mind knows everything is infinite. Your conscious is always going to be here. Your ego does not know that stuff. So it's going to try to stuff you up and make you feel low and keep you and just try to do its thing to get what it wants out of you. All right. How do I quiet the mind? How do I shut up the voice in my head, Mark? What's going on with that voice in my head? Well, the way if you want to shut up the voice in your head is you have to talk to the voice in your head. And you can tell the voice. So here's a statement that I like to use to tell my mind and my voice in my head to chill out. And it goes like this. Whenever I am experiencing any type of negative cycling thoughts in my mind, in my own head, I always say this to my mind out loud. I go up and I say, hey, relax. Okay, I say that. And I also say, hey, you don't know anything. And I go back and I said, hey, everything is going to be okay. That's what I use. And my mind always goes back down. Right? Now, I have to tell you something else about your mind that you must know. Whenever you get a negative thought in your mind, the thought that you get in your mind is don't take it personal. It's not about you. It's just about your mind. Okay, it's not about you, it's about your mind. So what your mind is a tenant. It's like he's renting space. Your mind doesn't own you. You don't realize that, right? But what it does, it makes you believe it owns you. Let me tell you something else about your mind. See, the reason why we trust our mind so much is because we have been coached, coerced, and taught in school and the world and our parents and society to trust our mind. Now, when I talk about trust your mind, I'm just talking, you got to trust your mind, right? But there's a different part of your mind you have to trust. You have to trust what's called the intuitive part of your mind, the higher mind. You don't trust the ego mind, people. The ego mind is not made for you to trust. It's made for you to gather data, collect data. Your ego mind is made for you to navigate, to see, to make a decision based on the intuitive mind. Your ego mind is never made for you to figure out how to create your world, what to do to get what you want. None of that. It's only, I want you to remember this, your mind is just made to collect data. Collect the data, send it to the other mind. Let the other mind work out how it's going to come to you, when it's going to come. And the beauty of both of these minds is when it comes to that process, they work brilliant together. You see, what the perfect job of the minds are as follows: is I give my conscious mind what I want, and then my conscious mind will send it to my subconscious mind, and my subconscious mind will find out how I'm going to get it, when I'm going to get it, and it sends it to me. So when it's close at hand for me to get it, it's going to send it and give a warning to my conscious mind and say, hey, this guy's stuff is getting ready to manifest, so here's what I want you to tell him to do, and here's what I want him to do. And then my conscious mind will come to me now, and I'll say, Mark, do this. Now I'll know the difference when my conscious mind is speaking on behalf of my higher mind versus my conscious mind is speaking on behalf of itself. Whenever my conscious mind is speaking on behalf of itself, it's going to fill me up with a lot of negative uncertainty, anxiety, anxiousness, just type of these different emotions. That's when I know, okay, you're speaking on yourself now, so I can't really listen to you. Now, however, when my conscious mind is speaking on behalf of my higher mind, there will be no type of emotions. It will just feel like a logical thing. It will just feel like something to do. It'll just feel nonchalant. It'll just pop in me. I'll go do it. I'll just make a decision. So that's when I know it's speaking on behalf of my higher mind. So this is where you have to get really good at. You have to get really good at knowing when your mind is speaking on behalf of itself or when it's speaking on behalf of your higher mind. Whenever it's speaking on behalf of your higher mind, you're going to get your success. Whenever it's speaking on behalf of itself, you're going to get ego stuff. You're going to get lower mind things. You're not going to get your success. Okay? So what you really want to do now, so now you know a little bit about the mind. So two of them, creative, analytical. So the secret now is spend more time in your creative mind. So to spend more time in your creative mind, you got to do some exercises. The first thing you got to do, you got to expose yourself to new and enlightening content. Always put yourself in things that will make you learn and grow in a positive aspect. Look for things that will inspire you. That's going to open your creative mind. The next thing that's going to get you into your creative mind, spend a lot of time in your imagination. Imagining what your world and your desires and what it would look like to have what you want. That's going to open your creative mind. Also, use the affirmations. Spend a lot of time affirmations to your higher mind, talking in question form out loud. That's going to get you into your creative mind. You're going to start to, okay, what else? Spend a lot of time observing everything around you and not judging. When it comes to people and things like that, spend a lot of time observing the people. Don't judge someone when you meet them. Don't do that. Just take people for what they are at the surface level. That's going to open your intuition. So when you start to do all those things, you're now going to start to create more energy flow to that part of the mind, and it's going to restrict energy flow to the conscious part of the mind. Remember, you want less in the conscious, you want more in the unconscious. More in the subconscious means more abundance, more manifestation. Less in the conscious mind means less resistance, better clarity for you. You do not want more in the conscious and less in the subconscious. That's now where you're going to face a lot of issues. You will get a lot of resistance. You will feel unworthy. You will feel fear, doubt, and worry because your mind is incapable of doing that. All right? Let's talk about some other parts of the mind now. How about the processing and memory and the data storage of the mind? So in the conscious mind, you can only get about a certain amount of information. In the unconscious mind, billions and millions and infinite amounts of information can stream in the subconscious. Okay, what else about the mind? Well, one part of the mind, a conscious mind, will always can only exist in the 3 or 4 dimensional plane. The other part of the mind exists in infinite dimensions. It's not bound by space or time. Your conscious mind is bound by space-time. The subconscious is not bound by space-time. All right? The next thing about the mind that you want to be aware of is just because you don't see it does not mean you won't get it. Just because you don't see evidence of it does not mean that there is evidence coming in of it. See how that works? All right. The next thing you want to do to master the creative mind is use subliminal programming. Whenever you can use subliminals at night while you're sleeping, you're going to induce the creative part of the mind. The next thing you want to do if you want to get to the creative part of the mind, you can induce more lucid dreaming into your mind. How do you do more lucid dreaming into your mind? The power of crystals are very powerful to help you, especially amethyst. An amethyst crystal can enhance your energy and induce lucid dreaming. But there's other things you can do to induce lucid dreaming into the subconscious mind. Right before you go to bed, you can simply state out loud in a low tone voice when you hear yourself and talk to yourself and tell yourself what you would like to dream about tonight. And then when you fall asleep, you will enter a state of lucid dreaming. Did you know that? That is so simple. No one even taught about that. All you have to do is when you close your eyes like this and you're going to sleep, you say to yourself, all right, I like to dream about this. And I guarantee you're going to dream about it. But get this, you're not going to dream, you're going to lucid dream it. Affirmations, you can do affirmations when you wake up, during the middle of the day, and right before you go to bed. So the most important thing, if you want to really get into your creative mind, guys, and to master it, is to continually talk in questions forms throughout the day. Anything that's on your mind, put it in a question. Ask it, say it out loud to yourself. When you're in your car driving, you should be talking to yourself and getting questions. Like, hey man, you know that thing I wanted to do, what's the best way to get it? Hey, you remember so-and-so? I have a funny feeling about her or him. What do you think? Is he right or the connect? Should I go with that? Just questions like that every day, man. You're now building a bridge. You're building a strong communication channel with your source, with your higher self. Because listen, the reason why you have to do this, you want to do this, guys, is because your conscious mind doesn't understand this language. Your subconscious does understand this because it's illogical. You see, stuff like this, you would think is illogical. It doesn't make sense, or it's stupid, or it's dumb, or you're crazy, or you wacko, right? You would think that. But the truth, guys, is truth is stranger than fiction. The real truth is that's the way it works. The opposite way does not work. How do I know the opposite way does not work? Shoot! You've been doing it for 25 years and you ain't got no results, have you? If it worked, you'd be living the life you want right now. If it worked, we'd have no stress, less anxiety, less fear, less doubt, less worry. If it worked, but right now, there's more stress, more fear, more doubt, more worry. So it's not working. But if you do it that way, you're gonna have less stress, have less, it's gonna work. Because you're controlled 97 or 98% by your creative mind. See how that works? So once you start to lock in and you start to get connected with yourself and your higher mind, this is where you're going to see a lot of changes coming into your life now. Opportunities will come up. Intuition will be on fire. All these images, you get premonitions, man. You'll be walking by people. You'll be feeling what they're talking about, feeling their energy. You'll be in the right place at the right time. And you'll start to say to yourself, wow, what's going on here, man? What's that? Well, what's really going on is you've exited the 3 and the 4 dimensional space-time. You've gotten into more of the infinite reality times. So what you've done is you've done what I'm teaching you to do. You spend more time in the creative mind and you only go to the conscious mind when you need to do your logic stuff. When you need to decide, to look around, to collect data, to decide what you want, to intention it, and then you go back to your creative mind. You don't spend too much time in that mind, because if you spend too much time in your conscious mind, it's going to get used to you and it's going to use you. It's going to try to tell you what you need to do, what you should do, what you can't do. Then it's going to hit you back now with the fear, the doubt, the worry, and then now it's going to make you feel unworthy, because it is already feeling unworthy, because it's limited. So the more it's like the people you spend your time with, you're going to take on their habits. If you spend time with people who are non-productive, they don't have motivation, they don't have anything planned to do with their lives, that's going to rub off on you, man. But if you spend time with individuals who are doing stuff, they're always thinking, or spend time with yourself and putting your ideas and visions and looking for things to inspire you, that's where you're going to go to. But you don't want to go in and spend a lot of time in your conscious mind, because it's really not designed for that. Your conscious mind is designed for you to pass through it, not to live in it, man. Most people live there. You don't live there. Like I told you, it's a rent-free, it's a rent space. It's a 6 months lease, it's a 1-year lease. And then when the lease is up, move out, kick it out, get another tenant, get another person in there. What I mean by another person in there, change your thoughts, get new thoughts in there. Of course, people fight against their mind every single day. They fight every day with their own thoughts. And what they're doing is, if you're fighting your thoughts, you're empowering your thoughts. You do not fight your thoughts. What you do with your thoughts is you observe the thoughts. And you look at the thoughts like this, and you say, oh really? Interesting. That's not me. And you let the thought go out. A thought will only come to you if you pay attention to the thought. Thoughts are just passing by like the wind. But if you look at them, they'll say, oh, he's checking me out. Let me go see what he's about. Then they're going to come to you, man. So I never look at my negative thoughts. I let them pass by. If my negative thought is looking at me, I go like this, because I don't want to give him eye contact. If I give him eye contact, he's going to come over. So I never give negative thoughts eye contact. I see them, and then I turn away, and they go by, because I'm not giving them attention. The only thoughts I give attention to are the good thoughts, the thoughts that I like to have, the thoughts that I want, the thoughts that I'm going to generate myself. Oh yeah, I'm welcome, all you guys, come on in. Let's go. All the positive, oh yes, let's go. We're going to be creative. All of that I welcome in. Because those thoughts make me feel good. Those thoughts will inspire me. Those thoughts will initiate my creative response. So I'm here to tell you that every thought you have that is negative is not you. And every negative thought that you get into your head, it's not even you again. It's just a collective thought of the matrix, of all the people involved in the world we live in. Their thoughts are exchanged. So some thoughts will creep into your head. It has nothing to do with you. You have to remember that. Go ahead, you have a question. What's your question? Do not let your thoughts be your master. Be the master of your thoughts. It means you have the ability to observe a thought. And then you also have the ability to, guess what? What else do you have the ability to do? To change the thought that you just observed. And guess what else you have? From when you change the thought you just observed, now you have the ability to absorb the thought that you just observed. What happens when you absorb a thought? It takes root and it becomes a belief. After it becomes a belief, it becomes a habit. After it becomes a habit, it becomes your world or your experience or your way of life. Everything starts with the mindset. Whenever you're manifesting something and you're experiencing a lot of roadblocks, that was a question. Whenever you're manifesting, if you experience many roadblocks, it is your higher mind telling you that to let it go and let me work. It's telling you that there could be something better for you, that it has, but you just haven't given it the opportunity to do it. So that's the biggest sign to let you know when to let something go, guys, is if you're experiencing a lot of roadblocks. Don't push on, man. Relax. Let it go. There's something better opening for you. See, the Matrix world don't teach you that. The Matrix says, yeah, all those blocks, man, push through it, man. I have a rule of thumb, guys. Whenever I'm doing anything in my life, I call it the 3-strike rule. I cut it down now. I go to 2 strikes now, but it used to be 3 strikes. If I attempt something 3 times and I meet 3 times resistance, I stop it. But now I don't even do 3 times. I just do 2 times now. So if I'm attempting something and I get resistance 1 time, I'll make an attempt. I get resistance 2nd time, game over. I'm out. Because I know what's happening. That's how it works. But most people, they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They go 10 strikes, man. They're still in the game, trying, thinking it. And the worst thing is, here's what happens. Your mind will egg you on the more. Your mind will say, oh man, this time it's gonna work. Oh no, this time it's gonna work. Man, by that time, be 20 years past. You're 20 years in it, deep, 20 years deep in it. 5 years deep in it. Nothing happened. Okay, you want me to give you evidence to show you how? I'll make this very simple for you to do this. How many people? I have an uncle, man. Okay, this guy. This guy's been telling me for the past 10 years that he's going to be this or that, and he hasn't made a move. We've all have those friends and people that keeps telling you what they're going to do. Yeah, man, I'm going to do this. I'm going to play. I'm going to start my career. I'm going to start my comedy. I'm going to start my movie. I'm going to start my show. This is what I'm going to do. I got to make moves. And 2 years later, same thing. Hey, man, what's going on with that? Yeah, I'm still working on it. I'm waiting for the right time. 3 years later, 5 years, 6 years, same thing. You know why it happens? Because their mind will egg them on. Their mind will tell them. And listen to something. The reason why your mind will egg you on, because your mind do not like to be wrong, your ego. It will rather run you into the ground than tell you, hey man, I made a mistake, sorry. It'll keep pushing you. But you do not do that, guys. It's a 2-strike rule, man. 2 strikes, 2 strikes. All right, 1 time, no work. 2nd time, no work. Okay, good. Thank you, universe. I'm open now. Now you're gonna let the floodgates of what you want to come in. That's the secret to the game. That's how the game works in manifesting and everything, right? You have to work with it, not against it. It's a flow world we living in. It's a world that is controlled by your higher self, not your lower self. So your lower self have the ego, has the pride, wants to get it done. Your higher self does not. It sees everything. So if you learn to flow with the universe is going to flow with you. You flow against the universe is going to flow against you. And it all starts with your mindset, the state of mind, what your mind is telling you to do and not to do. That's where it starts. See how it works? Keep that in mind. And I'll see you next time.